So far I've only been to Texas A&M, which was a really great visit. I always have a good time going down there. I have Texas set up for the 15th and 16th, and probably going to set up Oregon and Baylor the last 2 weekends from January.
So who legitimately is still in the picture for you? And obviously the ones you're visiting. Anybody else still on the radar?
Honestly, no sir. Just those four: Texas, A&M, Baylor, and Oregon.
Ultimately, how do you come to separate one school from the pack?
Probably the thing for me would probably be all four of those schools I could get playing time with, which I heard from the coaches. But I'm really big atmosphere and environment guy. So just kind of that one school that stood out the most and just really make me feel like home.
Does it come down to literally taking these visits and just, how key, I guess, are those visits? Does it come down to those visits, or which one blows you away the most?
Yeah, pretty much. It's honestly just the thing that I pray on, and just waking up, first thing that comes to my head, it's just that close of a battle, and it's been really hard, but I've been enjoying it as well. So
you've got 3 in-state schools there, one in Oregon ways away. How much does distance play a factor, if at all?
Distance to me doesn't matter, but my mom, she really wants to be able to come out and see me whenever she can, and so I just keep that in mind as well. That's the reason why I have 3 of the 4 in Texas, because they're easy schools to get to for me and for my mom. So.
Let's talk about them individually. When you think of, let's start with A&M. What's their big selling point that kind of stands out for A&M?
Just them being my first offer, and I've just gotten really comfortable with the coaching staff and some of the players as well. A lot of the players that I hung out with on my official or from East Texas, so they just gave me the real inside scoop of how it was, and they've all had positive things to say about it.
And Texas, a big selling point?
Texas their coaching staff is probably my favorite. They're just the type of guys that seem like they'll be there for you no matter what, no matter what my decision is. And they obviously have the program going in the right direction. They're really young, so just getting the recruits in for my class, and then the freshmen that started last year, I think that'll be really good. Baylor was a school that wasn't in my top at first, but then visiting them with my mom and stuff, I just really liked it down there. And Coach Brown is one of my favorite head coaches, so I just had a great time.
When did you visit Baylor?
It's an unofficial.
For a game or something?
No, I went to a game, and then I went to last summer.
Oh, this was a while ago. Oregon, big selling point there?
It's kind of a school that I've liked, always, and I just like the fast tempo that they play, and just the coach telling me that I probably had a chance to start, so that really stood out to me, and because playing time's a big factor as well.
First time I met you, man, was like 2 years ago. You may not remember this, but it was at a track meet up in Austin.
Texas Relays.
Yeah, and you had an A&M medallion on, and I was messing with it. I was like, that's pretty obvious, man. Since then, everybody thought, okay, this kid's a lot for A&M, and that was a long time ago, like 2 years ago. But it seems like you've really kind of opened this up and taken a pretty level-headed approach. How tough has it been to kind of back away from the long time, just being a fan of a program and just kind of look at this thing as an objective, business decision?
A&M was at one time my top, just because I've been out there so much and they're my first offer. But then getting out to some other schools, and just actually seeing what other schools are about, it kind of opened my eyes that hey, these schools are alike in some way, but also there's different in some way, which I liked.
A lot of talk about it being Texas and A&M, obviously Baylor and Oregon. Do Baylor and Oregon have ground to make up on those visits on Texas and A&M?
Just a little bit. Texas and A&M are schools that I've been to more than the rest. So I have a really good feeling about all of them, but Oregon, because I haven't visited there yet. But it's really just going to be, just so I'm taking my mom. Usually when I went on my unofficials, I went with my friends and stuff. So my mom's kind of there, just to help me, because she wants what's best for me, not just,
what about with Texas? I know, heard people talk that you and Coach Strong really kind of hit it off and kind of, stepped in. You got the respect for him. And what's your impression with Coach Strong, your relationship there?
Oh yeah, Coach Strong is a great guy. He's he always, I know he's a busy guy, but he always take the time, to DM me or make a phone call, just get out to and and pretty much we usually don't talk about football that much when he calls. Usually he's asking about my mom and my brothers, which really stands out to me that he actually cares about me, not just the football aspects.
And what decision day you can?
Probably signing day.
Signing day.
Yes,
okay.
I know LSU at one point was on you pretty heavy, and you had put them in a couple of your top lists.
Right.
What I guess kind of knocked them out of the running?
LSU was a great school. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, it's just just a home feeling to me, and that's one of the schools I didn't just feel at home. It's a great program, and just the great coach. I love the coaches as well, but it's just I don't know, it's just somewhere that just didn't feel for me.
Do you have, and I want to ask you where it is, but in your mind, do you have one going into these visits that maybe you're leaning a little bit? And I want to ask you who it is, but truly, is it truly wide open, or do you have one maybe, okay, I'm kind of leaning this way right now?
Honestly,
I won't ask you who it is.
Okay, I have 2 really close that are
Pretty obvious.
either or, you know. But I mean, yeah. As of that, I don't know for sure one school because it's so close of a
You
race.
truly are undecided. A lot of
Yes,
guys
sir.
say they're undecided.
Right.
Their
Yes,
minds
sir.
are pretty made
Yes,
up.
sir.
Okay, cool.